to some of the queries, stated under Article 53.2 that some of the roles are not for the commissioners who are complaining, but rather could directly follow under her. I interested myself in the definition.
Now, are you sure she said that?
I heard. She will clarify if I heard her wrongly.
I didn't hear that.
I interested myself in the definition of the commission, and it's nowhere stating or defining that a commission entirely means the chairperson. It talks of the commission, which includes all the commissioners. So when it comes to closing of files, and you say this is in your opinion, you saw some issues are petty issues, and you close them unilaterally without the involvement of other members of the commission. I think this deviates from the definition of the commission. Two.
So what's the question?
My question is that proper? Or excluding other members because you think, in your opinion, they don't form.
Okay.
Yes, yet they are defined in the definition to be members of the commission. Two.
Thank you.
It is stated that the chairperson continued receiving a necessary contribution even after clocking the mandatory years. So, under what policy was she getting that NSSF contribution? Finally, Mr. Chairperson, the budgeting rules and the financial issues appear to be under her docket, and she was taking such decisions alone. That's why you realize that even the monies were being deposited on personal accounts of her PAs. Among the names I'm getting here, we are seeing names like Doreen, the Nansambas, who are not members of the commission. Isn't that abuse of power of the commission? I beg to submit.
Is that a fact or one of the allegations made?
I said among the allegations, but these are facts which can be verified by looking at the
let's hear from
personal accounts of these people.
From Soroti.
Thank you very much. I thank the chairperson for her submissions. I have maybe one or two issues. The first one,
because some things were really honestly bordering, really extreme pettiness. Honorable Chair, I just want to restrict myself to the part where you close and dismiss files. Yesterday, the commissioners mentioned it. It almost looks like you unilaterally do it. Aren't you supposed to execute this mandate of hearing matters jointly with all the commissioners? Why is it something that they do not have knowledge of? I say this because we in the public are very concerned about your partiality and how you've executed your task in the field generally of human rights protection and observance of human rights. I have in my hand here some of the matters that you closed and dismissed, and I can see it is your director complaint, so it signs off the dismissals. But when you read some of the reasons that you give, it is found that you resisted arrest, so the force that was used on you was proportionate, therefore we closed. It is found that the officer who was conducting the arrest acted in self-defense, so we've closed. Madam Chair, in my view, these are not decisions that you would unilaterally reach without subjecting it to at least quite a number of opinions, so that you are seen to do justice to the people that have come before you. You know, by the time complainants come to bring their complaints before you, it's because they are aware about, or they are aware of the long and tedious process that going to court and litigation would entail. That's why they come to the commission. So you should also ideally discharge your duty honestly and without partiality. How is it? I want to understand how you can unilaterally, okay, without the involvement of other commissioners, dismiss and close files. And how do you think those Ugandans whose files you have just thrown out would feel after they have presented all these things to you and other commissioners are telling us they were not part of the decision? So did you sit alone with your director complaints and say this one throw out, this one throw out, this one take in? Thank you very much.
Thank you, the Honorable Anne. In short, Madam Chair, you know what you are still very relevant. Yes, must not only be done, but must be seen to be done. Secondly, the decision on closure, is it one and specifically under which law, where you can exercise it single-handedly? Is it exercised by a tribunal? Is it exercised by a commission? Who has this mandate?
Honorable Chair, and my concern is exacerbated by the language that she has used in her report. You know, you cannot waste time on this. This is frivolous. This is it outrightly shows a certain level of bias.
Honorable Anne, you have made your point.
Thank you, sir.
Honorable Anne.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for this latitude. Mr. Chairman, I'm happy that this crisis has not escalated to the level of witchcraft. There was cases, this kind of bickering was culminating to witchcraft. I believe, Mr. Chairman, you have heard. The chairperson of the commission have had the occasion of hearing from you. I have just a few questions. But I'm so concerned about how you view human rights in the due process when a suspect is arrested. You don't believe that a suspect is not entitled to a right to be arraigned before court within 48 hours as per the constitutional commandment? Can we do away with that constitutional commandment while considering the gravity of allegations? Isn't that dangerous to be coming from the chairperson of the Human Rights Commission? Is it your view that somebody, as long as there are serious allegations against that somebody can be subjected to torture, which is contrary to the law, which is contrary to the provisions of Article 24 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda? You, as the chairperson of Uganda Human Rights Commission, isn't it your duty to protect the right to be free from inhuman and degrading treatment? And you are saying that since this person committed an offense, that person can be subjected to such treatment? When you say that no, these are just frivolous, vexatious claims, because this person was subjected to torture and he was tried in court, he was convicted and sentenced. Therefore, it was right for him to be tortured before arraigning him before court. That's how I've understood you. Madam Chair,
You want to leave that point without asking your question directly.
I've asked her whether that is how she views. That's how, is she satisfied with that kind of position as the chairperson of the Uganda Human Rights Commission?
The commission, you've heard from me. I wish I would sugarcoat this, whether the marriage is retrievable or not. I want to leave that to the wisdom of this committee as to whether this marriage can be retrieved. Let the committee advise accordingly. on whether I'm still, whether I have the command of the office or whether I left or whatever, I'll just say two things. One is that my letter to the president, maybe I was naive about this, I thought it was confidential. And I copied it to the Honorable Minister of Justice. It leaked to the public, I think about 5 or 6 days after I had written it. And since the spirit of my letter was it should be confidential, I don't want to comment much on that, but also to remind this honorable committee that the learned Attorney General guided Parliament. He addressed Parliament on that issue. You remember what he said. It's the reason I'm here. He said Wangadya Mariam Fauza is the substantive chairperson of the commission. And it's why I'm here. I respect the opinion of the learned Attorney General. So that's why I'm still in this chair. A lot has been said about dismissal of cases. I don't know whether there will come a time when this committee or any other committee will summon here judges or registrars to explain their decisions, dismissing, writing rulings, dismissing applications, whatever. But let me say that, and also the personalization of this has really pained me. We have a complaints handling manual. It says decisions of this nature where we terminate hearings without going full length are communicated on behalf of the commission by the director, the concerned director. Indeed, the previous directors have been doing that. I don't know why this has been so much personalized this time. On the use of my language, criminals, learned friends, and honorable members, I use this word to only convicted, those complainants who are serving sentences, the convicts. Well, we ever inspected, I think, prisons in West Nile region, and many of the convicts had predominantly the crime they had committed was defilement. And you should look into the ages of their victims. Some of them are toddlers, they are victims, and their nieces. These are daughters of their brothers and sisters. And when they plead guilty, they get lenient sentences. So as you inspect this prison, somebody says, excuse me, Chair, by the way, before I was arraigned in court, I was detained at police for 4 days instead of 2 days. And you register such a complaint and you convene a session to hear that case. There is a victim, that 4-year-old girl, whose life will never be the same, as a woman and as a mother. When I think about that, my heart trembles. That this convicted defiler, who has also committed the crime of incest, is today a victim of human rights violations. That we should hear this case. That tell me, Chair, if
Honorable Abdallah, please, let's about the chair time.
If the chairperson exercises her wisdom to say no, but in light of we have so many other cases, we cannot prioritize a case of this nature that a convicted defiler is now our victim, and the police which arrested him and actually rescued him from mob justice is now guilty of violating his right to personal liberty. I maintain, regardless of what this committee will decide, that is not acceptable to me. We have to be broad in our decision making, to cast a wide net and look at victims of crime who are defenseless, who run to police for protection. That these defilers are now the victims, that is a horror. That is horrifying to me. Those are the people I referred to as criminals. There is a case, it originated in Barara, where the complainant had been convicted of aggravated robbery and murder. In the course of carrying out that robbery, he murdered 2 people. But he said he had been detained for more than 48 hours before being arraigned in court. What would that family, which lost 2 people, what would they feel hearing that the Human Rights Commission sitting in Mbarara has awarded so much money to a convicted murderer, double murderer? So those are the sensitivities we have to deal with. I cannot sit here and promise that we shall reverse a policy on that one, Mr. Chairman. Lastly, I just want to emphasize, to welcome the idea of dialogue. I have tried it, not once, but so far I'm not seeing any indication that the commissioners who accused me everywhere and anywhere are willing to have dialogue. I hope that that will be forthcoming. Finally, for emphasis, I leave
cases culminating into witchcraft. I believe, Mr. Chairman, you have heard. The chairperson of the commission have had the occasion of hearing from you. I have just a few questions. But I'm so concerned about how you view human rights in the due process when a suspect is arrested. You don't believe that a suspect is not entitled to a right to be arraigned before court within 48 hours as per the constitutional commandment? Can we do away with that constitutional commandment while considering the gravity of allegations? Isn't that dangerous to be coming from the chairperson of the Human Rights Commission? Is it your view that somebody, as long as there are serious allegations against that somebody can be subjected to torture, which is contrary to the law, which is contrary to the provisions of Article 24 of the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda? You, as the chairperson of Uganda Human Rights Commission, isn't it your duty to protect the right to be free from inhuman and degrading treatment? And you are saying that since this person committed an offense, that person can be subjected to such treatment? When you say that no, these are just frivolous, vexatious claims, because this person was subjected to torture and he was tried in the court, he was convicted and sentenced, therefore it was right for him to be tortured before arraigning him before court. That's how I've understood you. Madam Chair, in the stature of the Commission, the Attorney General came on the floor of Parliament and clarified that yours was a mere intention to resign, but you have not yet resigned. Do you still command the moral and functional authority to lead the Commission while your resignation is still in the limbo there, in the balance? Can you ably and unequivocally invite Ugandans who are victims of violation of human rights to present their petitions before you in light of the status, the balance you are in? Where are we? Lastly, don't you regret that in light of human rights violations in Uganda now, instead of handling those violations, those issues, you are busy discussing who is entitled to a trip, such things? I am so grateful, Mr. Chairman. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And I think execute its constitutional mandate. I want to invite you to refrain from anything that deviates us from that course. Congresswoman.
Please, thank you very much. Madam Chairperson, 3 quick things, and I thank you for your submission. 3 quick things. You mentioned partisanship. That is important.
Honorable George, can you write that down, though you're not going to have the microphone again?
Chair, you will give me back my 1 minute that I lent both of you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You mentioned partisanship. And if you're familiar with the complaints to the IGG, your commissioners also mentioned partisanship. Chair, allow me take out from a section of that statement. It's just 1 line. The NRM gains are not being protected at the UHRC. In fact, some people who have tested the chairperson's misconduct and abuses, even in tribunals, could have voted against the NRM. She's a liability to government. My question, is your commission partisan?
So you're worried that
yes,
she's not protecting the NRM gains?
That's what seems to be happening. And I'm wondering whether the Human Rights Commission has been turned into a partisan outfit, serving one party.
But in her submission, she said that's what she.
Yes, I want her to. Yes, I want her to substantiate further.
Okay, again. Okay.
Yes, and secondly, your fellow commissioners allege that you received 77 million Ugandan shillings from the Chinese embassy to buy ICT equipment, which you never bought. Why was this money put on your personal account as they allege, if that is true? And why did you usurp the role of the procurement officer, if that is the case? And then finally, Madam Chairperson, is your commission dysfunctional? Is the situation salvageable? Do you think the commission, as it is constituted now, can still work together? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Congresswoman. Honorable Kungu.
Thank you. You told us we are here to help the commission function. Madam Chair, I would love to ask you, since the commission is here to help you, what do you want this commission to do for you, this committee to do for you, to ensure that the commission is functional? Please, tell us. Secondly, I would love to know, as you execute your duties, what guides you? Is it the law or emotions, based on what you have communicated? And if it is the law, have you addressed your mind to Article 44 of the Ugandan Constitution? And have you addressed your mind to Convention against torture and other cruel, inhuman, degrading treatment or punishment? To be specific, Article 2.2, which says, no exceptional circumstances whatsoever, whether a state of war or a threat of war, internal political instability, or any other public emergency.
Actually, she knows all those provisions.
May invoke justification
Let's get to the point.
of torture. From her communication, that is why I am reading to her, from her communication, that some people, whatever they go through is a consequence of their actions. Let us believe, yes, they were rapists, as you communicated. Why would you judge them and give a blank check to Uganda institutions that they should torture or keep someone beyond the required time because they are suspected to have committed the offenses? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Procedure. Order. Which inhuman treatment, Chair?
Overruled.
Overruled. Second, Chair, Madam Chairperson, I have 3 questions. 3 that the IGG, there was no scandal and there was nothing which involved any dispute between you and other top executives of the IGG. So I just wanted you to compare, for me, your time at
this committee. Chair, my humble concern through you is that the chairperson of the commission highlighted the issue of partisan. Can I assume it's the cause of all these issues you are seeing because you went partisan and instead of performing the duties expected from the commission? Because we may assume that could be the issue, so sabotaging your role, because you're supposed to do this part and the other people are playing on the other lane. And last one, Mwanga Chivumbi and others who are just going through in that style, because human rights is our voice is just maybe in no existence, and we base on that to ask on this ground.
Thank you. I'll now